Oh no, it's still going. It's doing like
Okay.
yeah. This, oh, by the way, this is the first time that we're shooting on a 360 camera.
It's gonna be super interesting. We're all gonna look so strange in this.
No, I'm gonna look fine. You may look a little off.
I'm gonna be.
Yes, you're. But it's yeah. So feel free to manipulate the camera. You can, if you're holding it on your device, you can move it around and see the entire thing. There you go. You can do a cornea scan. Cornea cam. And so this is a new thing. If you like it, leave it in the comments below, and we'll start doing more of these. This will be Binge Theory 360. There you go, branding. But yeah. So I was saying about Wes Anderson. I mean, his look is so. I mean, it's almost like a parody of itself at this point, where everything is centered, everything is pastels, and I mean, they have like a whole thing on TikTok now where it's do your Wes Anderson shot.
Yeah.
So it's a thing now where it's kind of like everything has to be. It's like he's a slave to style. That's maybe what I'm thinking. Kind of like how Spike Lee had the dolly shot, like the. The steady cam or whatever would just keep going.
Yeah.
And how Hitchcock always was in his films. And what's his name? M. Night Shyamalan had to always have a twist.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, where it's like a director has a style and everybody expects that of them now.
That's why I'm a huge fan of I was gonna say Danny McBride. Doyle.
You mention this every single time I see you.
Yes,
You're like,
it's true.
I'm a huge Danny Boyle fan. We get it. Well, you are right though. He does make a lot of different types of movies.
I mean, if you go down the list, I'm just gonna say them again. Starting off with 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
28 Days Later, and then Sunshine, and then Slumdog Millionaire. And just every film I've seen, it's never been the same genre, never been the same shots.
Yeah.
It's almost all like he just wants to do a standalone piece of work that you can't identify it as a Danny Boyle film. I mean, who does a Bollywood, a zombie, and a space thing all within the same 5-year span? It's, I just thought it was impressive to see somebody have a skill in all those areas.
Yeah.
Whereas when you see early Scorsese, it was all New York.
Crime. Well, I think it's also kind of like, it's partially like, I do think that sometimes, like, especially now, like, you have directors, especially newer directors, like, people will be like, Jordan Peele, like, what's he gonna make next? Like, and I feel like you kind of become synonymous with like a certain type of genre or a certain type of like thing.
Yes.
It's like you develop a brand.
But but it's also like I feel like a lot of times too, it's like what they're good at and what they like doing. So I'm assuming like Scorsese makes all those movies because he likes doing them.
I think to the point, it's what they like doing. I think Scorsese likes doing New York crime
films. Yeah.
Whereas
Wes Anderson.
Not Wes Anderson, the other guy
Boyle.
that shoots that.
Oh, Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Likes directing.
Oh,
yeah.
And likes to tell a story. Yes. Doesn't necessarily have to fall within a certain genre.
True. Like Spielberg.
You know who else
Spielberg.
You know who else kind of also does that? Ridley Scott, where it's like you'll have like Alien, and then you'll do like Thelma and Louise. It's a completely opposite genre, like completely
and then
opposite
Gladiator.
things. Yeah.
Speaking of which, they're coming out with a sequel to
Gladiator 2, yes, with Paul Mescal. I'm so excited.
Who's going to be?
Paul Mescal. He was in that movie. He was in that TV show Normal People, and then he was in the movie After Sun, the A24 movie that didn't get a wide release for whatever reason. And then he got nominated for an Oscar for it. But nobody saw it because it never got a wide release, which sucked. But it was an amazing movie.
Well, but you know what? What's his name comes back? Doesn't he come back? What's his name? The Australian, the original Gladiator. I thought he was in it for some reason.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, was he not in the sequel?
I have no idea. Really strange things about the sequel. I heard it has absolutely nothing to do with.
It's just
the Gladiator. It's like a separate story.
It actually takes place in modern time, and it has to do with something about the government, maybe military based. I've heard some really weird things.
I feel like they just might as well just make another movie. Wait, are you sure?
Right. The person who described it to me, what they had heard, what the movie was going to be about, that's exactly what I remember saying. Why are they even calling it The Gladiator?
Well, it says epic historical drama. So I think it's still. I mean, otherwise they would have just made a completely different movie.
Yeah.
It's after being saved by Maximus and Gladiator. Oh, he's the nephew
Okay, thank God.
of
Yeah.
the nephew of Clement is now. Oh, it's like the nephew in Gladiator, I guess.
Okay,
whoever,
all right,
yeah.
so we're still in that time.
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But you know who I thought? You know who was supposed to be in that movie and then had to drop out?
Who?
Barry Cohen. From I forgot how he played the Joker in the new Batman movie. He's like
That's what
that
I was
guy,
thinking about.
Killing
Yeah.
Sacred Deer.
He's gonna be the worst Joker. I don't know.
I
but
love him.
he
He's
was
such
in
a
The
good
Lobster.
actor.
He
Though.
was also in the Invincibles.
Haven't we had
Immortals.
enough Jokers?
Eternal.
He was Eternal Immortals, not Immortals.
Haven't we had enough Jokers? Haven't we had enough Batmans?
What do you think about? What do you
Here's the thing.
We were talking about that
Wait.
before. What the new DC
The new Batman?
universes? Well, the standalone DC universes, because
I instantly
It's separate,
regret
it's separate.
making that comment because I loved the Batman.
Same. Yeah.
Right.
I
Big fan.
loved
Big fan.
the film noir
Yes.
feel,
The detective.
the detective
Yeah.
story.
It felt very much like. Did you guys ever watch Zodiac? Like David Fincher Zodiac? It reminded me a lot of Zodiac.
didn't.
Oh, you'd like
Yeah.
that. No, it has Robert Downey just as he's coming up.
Yeah.
'Cause
Him
this
and
is before
Mark
Iron Man.
Ruffalo.
It's before Iron. Is it
Okay.
before Iron Man?
It's
Yeah, it
no. It was
should-
around
no?
the same time, but it was him and Mark Ruffalo
Right.
before they were really
Yes.
known for
Oh,
Marvel.
And
yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, yeah, he's the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very young Jake.
I did see that movie.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been, it came out a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else they showed here a little while ago? Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
Donnie Darko, and again Patrick Swayze. I don't know if that was his last role.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But he was definitely older in that.
Well, yeah,
for
well,
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
aging process. but you know,
It works.
still, you know, I was glad that he did it, just to show that he didn't need to be the star, but he still could do it. And Drew Barrymore,
Yeah.
just like being these ancillary characters, but they were names, especially at their time.
Yeah.
And Donnie Darko, and I forgot he played with his sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
They
Yes.
play brother and sister,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
And in the 80s, and you know what? That to me was 80s done right. Not like that Abomination Wonder Woman, where everything's
Oh,
like neon.
Wonder Woman 1980, whatever.
Yeah,
that was a bad
I think that's
movie. Bad movie.
I think that's the actual title, 1980
It was a-
whatever.
It was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
The
we were,
interesting thing about that is the beginning scene that took place in the mall,
Oh, yeah.
the mall scene.
White Point, right?
No, it wasn't White Point. It was actually
But it was a local
it was it's in Alexandria, the Landmark Mall.
landmark one. My fault. Yeah,
Landmark
it's
Mall. I used to
abandoned.
live
You probably-
2 miles down the street from that.
Oh, all right.
When I first moved to Alexandria, there were still stores in there. By the time they filmed that, the
Oh.
only thing that was in there was Sears.
Well, in Sears.
Yeah, I know. The one anchor store that was left was the only. I mean,
Yeah.
they were It was. Dude, how ironic is this? They were renting out the parking lot space to
What, like Metro?
Amazon for the Amazon trucks to have somewhere to
That-
park
yeah.
after their runs.
That-
So the very company
They put them out of
that
business.
put them out of business was now using their parking lots
Picking the bones.
for their. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that is ironic.
But they went into the mall, put merchandise in some of the stores,
Yeah,
shot the film, and then they demolished the building.
I think that's ironic too.
Yeah.
I think that's not ironic. I think that's symbolic.
Symbolic. Yes.
Because that would have destroyed me too. That movie's horrible.
Yeah.
And
After such a fantastic first outing for
thank you.
Wonder Woman.
yeah, that first movie was really good. Except for like that, like
Except
third
for
act,
the whirling
whatever.
track.
But like, it's such a good movie.
And I always say this is that you can have an amazing superhero movie, but why do they all have to end with like a blue light shooting in the sky with
Yeah.
trash whirling all around, and then you blow it up?
Yeah.
I mean,
But again, like, I mean, that first movie, I think there was just so like, I think Gal Gadot did a very good job
Yes.
portraying that character in the sense that like I think she gave her a lot of integrity, and I felt like she was like there was a lot of innocence, that there was a lot of things that she was learning like as a person entering the world. So I think it was again like I think it's a good performance. I am still a fan of that first Wonder Woman movie, even though like that ending is just it's a lot. It's a lot.
That was
It's a lot of
a
ending.
studio ending.
Oh yeah.
And I will say this about her portrayal of Wonder Woman. I mean, I thought it was perfect casting, and you know her being Israeli, gave it that, that accent that made her feel like she was from an island, somewhere like a Mediterranean, kind of like a hidden away. So that plays. The only thing nobody's paying me to write this stuff, but I envision my Wonder Woman is almost elitist in the way I portray her in my mind, because she's a princess. She's of this superior warrior race. Mm-hmm. So to me, and they actually showed it a little bit, like when she was, and this is Wonder Woman 1, when she was trying to go into, like, I think it was they had like a political gathering or something, and she was walking in and they were trying to shoo her out, like she, because to them she was a woman, what do you have no business, and she was like, just, what do you think you're doing? Almost like, unhand me, because men were not seen as an authority to her. So I would have liked them to kind of lean in on that, like, kind of not showing up with a sense of entitlement, but almost like an assurance that comes from royalty, because she seemed a little babe in the woodsy.
Well, that was, I think the point is because she's like entering the world.
Yeah, but
and the movie is supposed to be like about her understanding like what war is and whatever it is, and like by the end of it, she does, and there's like that naivety or whatever, however that word is. But yeah.
And I totally get that, as showing up not understanding the situation, but still, I would have liked her to have the self-confidence of, I'm a princess, I'm molded from a god.
Yeah.
I'm in a different place, but I'm still me. To me, she showed up just a little,
kind of like, ooh, yeah.
Exactly. I would have kind of liked, what I would have liked? And here's an odd example, almost like Splash. And this I know is before your time.
You're right. She showed up a little bit like a Clark Kent.
Yes, exactly. A little, well, literally, she had on a suit with glasses.
With the glasses,
little out of place.
Yeah, almost like.
I think it.
No, go ahead.
No, I think it works for like the innocence of like the character like coming into the world, and it's like, and it's, I don't know. It's like, I think it's funny though, because like Gal Gadot is like, I think she's really good in that role, but like I don't think I've seen her in a good role since. Like I remember watching Death on the Nile, and I was like, God, this is terrible. Like. It's so funny because she did such a good job, like, and it's like she did such a good job in that first Wonder Woman, and then I just like haven't really seen a good movie of her since.
That was her watermark.
Yeah.
Well, what was she in
she was
before that?
Fast and Furious.
Exactly. Yes. Which I love that franchise.
Yeah.
I know it's campy and goofy.
It's so campy. It's gotten so campy.
Love that franchise, and she's got like maybe 5 lines.
And then they throw off into the shadows.
It was so interesting.
This was an opportunity for her to come out, and she did, and I think she did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just wondering, because like, I don't know if it was just maybe like because like I'm trying to like stuff that she's been in like after it, like Death on the Nile. It's like stuff that like I'm just like I don't know how strong of an actor she actually is. Like maybe she just did a great job as.
I'm wondering if these are, I need to find another role quick so I don't get typecast as Wonder Woman.
Especially since they shut that whole Wonder Woman down. James Gunn took over the DC.
Right.
And he shut all that down. So no more Justice League, no more Wonder Woman. They're going.
Oh, they're not doing it anymore?
Well, not with that cast. That cast is done.
It's gone. Oh, done forever. Okay.
Blue Beetle, I think, is in the future.
Oh, that's right. Did you guys see that?
I saw that.
I did. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was
Fine.
a Latin Flash.
Fair. I felt, okay, my thing was that like I didn't think it was bad. Like my thing, I was like really disappointed that it got no marketing like at all. That was like that was the one thing I was disappointed about, because I work here, and like when we were like, because like we knew Blue Beetle was coming up, but there was 0 trailers for it. I knew nothing about it, and I was just kind of disappointed because it's the first Latino like superhero, and like no marketing, no trailers, no nothing.
I hate to say it, but I think that's the studio hedging their bets. And also, the only name brand was what's his
George
name?
Lopez.
George Lopez.
But it was like,
and
I feel like it could have like made a decent box office, like because like the Flash like flopped in the box office, like, and I feel like they could have like maybe been like, oh, like we already made this movie, might as well spend some kind of marketing on it. You know what I mean? Like there was a trailer, just nothing got shown ever.
I'll say this about Blue Beetle: it was kind of a cookie cutter based on every other superhero movie that came. Discovering your suit, discovering the powers. Oh, hey, there's a villain and he has a suit too.
Yeah.
And it's by the numbers.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but Shazam did that
Yes.
as well, but
Also, it took a lot from
fantastic movie.
It took a lot from Shazam too. The same thing about a kid coming of age, his family, the family he loves.
So there's a difference between following a recipe and then rewriting a script and just changing orange to blue, right? You know?
I mean, it's not doing anything original, that was for sure.
Right.
But like,
and
I just was disappointed that it had zero marketing at all. You know what I mean?
the same
You
with
know?
the Flash too. The Fury of the Gods. I saw that, and the
Which one? The Shazam? too?
Shazam. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, the Flash.
I didn't watch that.
Flash, Shazam, Blue Beetle.
I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, you saw?
I wish
heard
I
it was-
hadn't.
Yeah, that first one is like I like the first one because it has that family
Yes.
it's like found family element to it, and it's like foster family and I liked that element of it.
Yes.
I haven't seen the second one, so I don't really know, but I've heard it's not great.
It's
not.
It's
Yeah.
not. And the thing that really stands out is young Billy Batson. He's like 19 by now. By the second one came out, and what's his name? Zachary Levi. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
He's acting like he's 10.
Yeah.
So they
Oh, they
pass
don't
themselves.
match. Yeah.
No.
They overplayed
Yeah.
the young.
The young, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not like a teenager becoming an adult. It's more like a kid.
And I hate to say it, but because DC has a great animated studio, much better than the
Oh, yeah.
movies, it's almost like you could have an immature man as opposed to a man who's acting like a child. He could be like almost like a college kid, just lighthearted, not
Yeah.
really, aware or self-aware, but you don't have to make him doing like TikTok flossing videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because it's almost like he regressed. He was like more mature in the first one.
You know why Marvel Studios did superhero movies so much better than DC? It's because they were willing to take superheroes seriously.
Yes.
And they were willing to write the characters with depth. And DC is not doing that.
I think there's a reason for that too, and I've always said, I was like, Marvel really and no matter like what you think about like the MCU, like what it's become or whatever, but like they really knew what they were doing when they dropped like Iron Man, and they were like dropping Captain America, Thor, and they knew they were building a universe before anybody else really knew what they were doing. They knew that they had a plan for it, and I think that like by the time Avengers came out, like all these other movies, DC was like DC had to play catch up. DC was like, we have to catch up to them. So like that's why like all of their movies kind of just like rolled out at once. There's not a lot of depth to those characters, not a lot of thought behind those characters. Like they kind of were just like, we need to make Justice League because they have Avengers. We need to make Justice League.
They
were
have
playing
just
catch
as
up.
much back catalog as Marvel does. I think it all comes down to the leadership over what they wanted the movies to be.
Exactly.
And if they wanted all of the DC movies came out real campy and like trying to be serious but were not. Like there was this one scene in Justice League where they're fighting
I know what you're gonna say. Is it the Flash?
No, it's with Cyborg and Superman. Where it's during the final fight with what was the villain's name?
Darkseid.
It was Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Steppenwolf. They were on some platform and something exploded and they fell down.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other, and in the middle of the fight, they just start laughing at each other. And Cyborg's like, I can't even feel my
legs.
feet,
How is that even
they start
possible?
laughing about it.
Well, I mean,
It's like, dude.
Marvel does that too, where they try to do try to input
here's the funny thing. I think
Yeah, but they don't stop the action and sit there and break down laughing. That's weird.
Here's two things that
That was just an awkward scene.
I think I know why, and I got two things to say. First of all, I think the reason why DC, messed the bed with their whole strategy is two things. First of all, Marvel were putting out characters. You said you hit the nail on the head. DC has iconic characters: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That's the Mount Rushmore of superheroes.
Yeah.
Iron Man, although it had a following, was not.
They could do.
Not a household name. People didn't have an opinion on Iron Man.
Yeah.
but you had studios that said, well, Superman, I know the stories. This is how I want my Superman to be. This is how I want my
so
Batman to be.
It's almost harder to create a Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everybody has an opinion.
There's an establishment of that character already.
Yeah.
So with Iron Man, you could just, like you were saying, you could just really do whatever
nobody
you wanted
cared about Iron Man, and definitely nobody cared about Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So they just said, go. Here's a little money, make a movie. It's kind of like with Blade. Nobody knew Blade, so nobody had input. Yeah. You just had, a vision and people that could execute. But DC, you're talking about people.
Then why was Green Lantern so bad?
Ooh, well,
because Green Lantern is the Iron Man of DC.
Well, Green Lantern was before like the DC, like the whole DC universe thing. The Green Lantern was like before that. It was kind of like the Hulk, where the Hulk was kind of separate from like so it kind of was doing its own thing.
It wasn't part of the.
It wasn't part of that DC universe.
But still, no, I get your point. Is that it was a better known character? Well, was it better known?
I actually haven't seen the movie, but I have heard it's not good.
Well,
which one? Green Lantern?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's horrible.
Is that when did that come out? 2000? Well, that's when like I feel like a lot of like superhero movies were coming out that were like not.
It's so bad
great
that
Ryan
Reynolds makes fun of it.
Well,
of course,
in
yeah.
his Deadpool.
Yeah, he shoots himself.
He shoots himself.
Well, that was an early 2000s movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was before anybody knew what the hell they were doing.
It was before superheroes were really like, because like there was like X-Men. Like X-Men was popular, but it was really before like we really hit like the superhero stuff with like Hollywood. And I feel like Iron Man and like the opening of like that was like really kind of like that height of the superhero
You're
stuff.
right, because the first X-Men was a lightning in a bottle. That was nobody was expecting that, and again taking it seriously. But to the point of how DC throws those odd bad humor moments in. Remember when Zack Snyder first made the first Superman? There was this whole critique of it. Why is it so gritty and dark, and his suit is bland, and why is it so? And even they make a joke of it where in Deadpool, he's like, "Wow, you're so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?"
Help me here.
Yeah.
Which Superman was this? Who?
Oh, Henry Cavill, the first one.
The first one.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
I loved that movie.
No,
really?
But the critique on it
was that it was too serious.
Was that it was too dark.
It's too dark.
Yeah.
So then they were trying to lighten.
They would try to counter that by throwing in,
Aquaman,
the Flash landing on Wonder Woman in an inappropriate way, and like being quirky about it. They were like throwing in jokes as opposed to getting joke writers.
They were trying to counteract the seriousness.
Yes. Overcorrect.
To be fair, I mean, we can also look at Zack Snyder's Superman Man of Steel as being an overcorrection from what was the Superman that came out before it with that unknown actor?
Oh yes, Brad Renfro. Not Brad Renfro. The middle.
No, he's unknown.
the middle one.
That guy.
He was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, it was the guy who
the vegan.
It was the Superman movie where Superman didn't throw one punch in the entire movie.
Yeah, his son was
Brandon.
I don't remember.
I want to say Roth, but
Brandon Roth.
Is it Roth?
Yes.
Ralph. It's Ralph. Yeah, Ralph, but not. Yeah.
No, there's a TH at the end, I think.
Ralph. Yeah, Ralph. Yeah.
Ralph.
Yeah. He was the vegan from Scott Pilgrim. The one with the. You've seen Scott Pilgrim.
I have. I don't remember it.
He was the blonde.
That's okay. I've seen it. The bass player. I don't remember.
They did a bass off.
Oh, is he the boyfriend that like sings with Brie Larson?
Yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I got it.
And he kind of looked like Christopher Reeve.
That's a little bit,
A little bit.
Yeah, but the movie. I mean,
the movie was terrible. That was the worst Superman ever.
And Kevin Spacey was
like there was that one scene where he stops a bullet with his eyeball.
Oh, I remember that scene. I remember that scene.
Bro,
iconic.
Okay,
iconic.
I get it. But what are you gonna do? Like, okay, so you just stopped. You're a badass. Okay, you go use that.
Like yes. And
like take this and go.
And it was God mode, so
point it at a bad guy and go do some stuff.
Yeah.
But when you reach that level of you can shoot me in the eye and nothing happens, it takes away the stakes, except for kryptonite.
It does.
And then that's the oldest thing is I'm impervious to anything. Oh no, somebody has kryptonite. And it's Lex Luthor.
So
that's literally the plot from Superman 1.
Of a plot device.
But
right?
it's Superman 1. That's with Gene Hackman and
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't have Miss Taskmacher and Otis. That's a callback to the 1970s Superman, which again is still probably my second favorite Superman.
See, I don't know anything about. See, like as somebody who
did you not see the first Superman?
No, I haven't. I've never seen like. Yeah, all like Batman Batman Returns, like the one that we watched for film club. What was that one? The one with Michael Keaton and like Michelle Pfeiffer. What was
Batman Returns, the second one, Danny DeVito.
That was like one of my first Batman, like older.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've never really seen.
Well, that was Tim Burton too.
You didn't see the original Michael Keaton Batman?
Well, that was the second one he did with Tim Burton, and then they stopped doing them. But then they went to Schumacher, and then
See, my experience with like superheroes was always like when I was growing up, and like because I'm younger or whatever, but like mine was like X-Men. Like I watched all the X-Men movies as a kid. I never saw like any Superman. Like I knew obviously he was Superman, Batman, whatever. Yeah. Like I never watched any of that though. Like, mine was always X-Men until like, cause like not to like date, not to be like show my youth or whatever, but like Iron Man came out when I was 13 years old. Yeah. That first one.
But to your point about X-Men, I mean,
what was that, 2008?
2008, yeah, I was 13.
Poor Hugh Jackman. They won't let him stop. He's going to be in Deadpool.
Dude.
I thought he quit. I thought he was done with that movie. I thought like Logan, he was like, I'm out.
This is another Wolverine.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
get out of here. My dad's going to be so happy. My dad loves
the multiverse.
Yes, anything's possible.
I mean, Michael Keaton is back as Batman.
But yeah, fair.
But apparently he's a different Batman.
He's a different Batman.
Yes, from a different time.
Yep.
And see, that's the thing is when
the multiverse stuff is going to be interesting.
You know who really showed how pointless
I want Art Deco Batman back.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what's really who nailed it? How meaningless all this stuff is? Rick and Morty. If you've ever seen that show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, because Rick has he has the multiverse.
Yeah.
There's like millions of Ricks, and when one dies, it doesn't matter because there's 100 others that just show up. So.
Well, like the existentialism goes into like the multiverse thing too. Like, did you guys watch Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes.
Where it's all about like, like everything. That's great.
It's a great
one of my favorite, like top 5 movies of all time for me. But like again, it's like one of the because we're doing a lot of multiverse stuff. It was one of those that really took the multiverse into like existentialism, where it's like if you can access everything, what matters? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so it's like nothing matters, but also everything matters. Yeah. But like it's so.
But it also had
interesting.
It also had heart because it dealt with first of all. What's her name?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh. I'm going to punch myself in the head. I almost said Margaret Cho. Yes, Michelle Yeoh.
Completely different person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, who has such a long career. I mean, from doing stunt work with Jackie Chan.
Like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, being a Bond girl and just killing it. And she shows up, and who's she with? Who won the Oscar?
Ki Kwan.
No. Yeah, him too.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Short Round is in it from Indiana Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and
as
also,
an adult.
Yeah, growing up, and also from Goonies.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he because he retired. He
did. Yeah.
He didn't retire, but he was no longer from the camera because he was doing stunt work. And blah, blah, blah.
The reason he retired was because there's a whole thing because it's about like a Chinese American family. So he became really popular as a child actor in the 80s.
Yes.
And then he realized as he was getting older there wasn't a lot of roles for him as an Asian actor. So he was kind of forced to retire because there was nothing for him.
Well,
he was behind the camera the whole time. So that his return to acting was Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I think he's 50 now. And that was his return to acting.
Interesting.
He can't be 50 now.
He's 40. Yeah, he must be late 40s.
No, I don't remember. No.
You said no.
No, it's too
I'm
old.
pretty sure.
That's
I'm pretty
too
sure. Hold on.
All I remember.
That man is.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Thank you. Jeez, 50.
52.
Short Round's 50.
52.
You know what? And again, just side tangent. One of the most endearing scenes I've ever seen, especially in an Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
Hopefully